Okay, so this is going to be video number 2 of Let's Play Primero Prince, which is my new game design idea on the Italian High Renaissance. And I've changed the camera, and I think we got a better view of everything here, which is awesome. So we're just going to go, and each of these videos are going to be short, informal sequence of play of how I envision the game working. So you can check it out, see what you think, and give me your feedback. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do on the sequence of play is draw our cards. So each family is going to start the game with 3 or 4 cards. In the case of the Della Rovere, they need 4 because they start a little bit behind on the map. And then you're going to draw additional cards based on the map state. Okay, so each family is going to draw 1 card per duchy which they control. So actually, go family by family. So the Sforza's cards start with 3 here, okay? And then they're going to draw 1 for controlling the Duchy of Milan. Here they got the majority of the spaces, they actually have all of them. And they're going to get 1 for controlling the Duchy of Genoa. And then they're going to get 1 card, so based on the cities on the map, some grant cards if you control them. So Milano gets a card, and Genoa itself is worth a card. And then having the vice chancellor at the start of the game of the papacy is also going to give them a card, right? So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Swords are going to start the game with 8 cards to play with. So I'm going to put it over there in their hand. The Della Rovere get 4 because they start behind, because they don't control any of those things that we just went over. So the Marsh, they only control 1 space, and in Lazio the same. And while they've got 3 cardinals over here in the papal conclave, they don't have any of the key spots in the church yet. So they're just going to have the 4 they start with no bonuses. And next will be the Borgia. So they get dealt 3 cards to start the game, and then they don't control any duchies, but they do control Rome. So they get 1 for controlling Rome. And then they have the Pope. So they get 2 cards for having the Pope. And they have the Gonfalonier, who is Cesare Borgia with the papal forces here in the Città de Castello. So that's worth a card. So the Borgias get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And as you can see, it's good to be the Pope. And last are the Medici. So they have their first 3 that they draw. And then they gain 1 for controlling the Duchy of Florence, 1 for controlling Florence itself, and 1 for controlling Pisa, which is sort of like a historical convention I've got the game starting with, more or less. They're sort of fighting with Pisa on and off during this whole time period. Anywho, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards for the Medici to start the game with. Okay, and that's step 1 of the sequence of play done. We've all got our cards to play with. And I'm just going to keep rolling into step 2. So on step 2 of the sequence of play, each family is going to trade cards. And the Pope gets to decide who starts and in which order we're going to go with the card trades. Each family is going to offer a packet of 2, 3, or 4 cards, which then the other families can either take, or if they don't get taken and traded, they can be swapped out from the draw pile for new cards. Okay, this is going to entail us looking at how the cards work to perform actions on the map. So I'll go into that as I'm looking at the hands. But so we'll start with the Medici's hand here. They have 6 cards, and they have clubs. They have the 2 of clubs, 5 of clubs, and the 6 of clubs. So they have a strong clubs hand. Clubs gives you diplomacy points, which lets you do things like strategically marry your family members or add influence into the major powers, those sorts of things on the map. Then they have the 4 of cups. That goes toward church actions. So if you wanted to get more cardinals on your side, or add your family members into the College of Cardinals, or sell indulgences, those sorts of things, you need cups to perform those actions. So they've got the 4 of cups, and they have the Knight of cups. And then they have the 6 of coins. Coins are your building actions, the big one being patronage. So you spend coin action points to take rolls at patronizing the arts and gaining fame points that way. It's like the biggest way to gain fame. But there's other buildings you can do as well, like fortifying your locations, that sort of thing. And the Medicis have no swords, right? So no military capability right now, which they can try and trade for. If I'm the Medici player, I'm going to offer the Knight of Cups, which is a weak card, with the Six of Coins, which is a strong card, and hope for a good trade in exchange. Now, when you submit your packet, the top card's revealed, any cards below it are not, right? And we're going to put a red disc on this to remember that this is the Medici's packet. Nice little helpers out of the way. So that's their packet they're offering for trade. The other cards go back in their hand. Okay, then we're going to look at, the Pope's going to send it the other way around, so now we'll look at the Sforzas going to have to commit their trades. The Pope's want to look at everything last, basically, is the plan. So, swords, coins, two faces of coins and the ace of coins, clubs, cups, swords, and coins. Okay, so the Sforzas have 4 coin cards, which is very strong, but they have one of each suit, and if you have one of each suit, you can play for a mixed hand, which is what they're going to want to do because that gains you the most action points. And your mixed actions you can use on anything. You can commit to any part. Okay? So that means they're going to need to keep this clubs and cups card, and because they have 2 strong military cards, the 6 and 7 are the strongest cards point-wise for the hand of Primero that we're going to play. So they're going to hold on to both of those. And they're going to offer up the face card of coins. Okay, so now we got 2 coins up on offer for trading. That's the Sforza's packet. It's going to get traded. The rest of their cards go into their hand. The Della Rovera, remember they only had 4 cards, so they're going to have to be creative. They've got a club, a sword, a cup, and a club. So they want to play toward clubs since they've got 2 of them. The other thing they could do is snag one of the coins in a trade and build a mixed hand. Actually, that's probably what they will do. And they'll offer, they gotta offer a packet of 2. They're gonna offer clubs up, swords underneath. And hold those 2 cards in their hand. And then the Borgias, the Pope, decided to go last. So they've got the 7 of swords, 4 of swords, the ace of swords, and a face of swords. So they've got a great military hand. Face of clubs, 7 of clubs, strongest club, 7 of cups, the strongest cups. So they've got the strongest cup, then the strongest diplomacy card, and the strongest military card, which they'll keep all 3 of. And they'll look to improve by grabbing a coin to get a mixed hand, which would be the strongest mixed hand, probably give them 4 action points that way, plus they can probably get a military hand to play as well. So they're going to dump one of the faces of the military and clubs. Okay, that's going to be the trading packet. The other cards go back in their hand. Now we resolve the trades. If you're playing with 4 players, anybody can say anything about their trading pack that they're offering, right? At this point, you're going to swap hands around, and people can try and influence this decision any way they want. The only thing you can see is the card on top. This is the Machiavellian phase of the game. The most Machiavellian phase, well, potentially, of the game. So, the Pope decides that they are going to go first in trading, and then they're going to go around the horn this way. So, Medici will go second. And the Pope wanted coins, I believe. The Borgias wanted coins to fill out their, hand, and that 6 of coins is the best one. So they're going to trade this packet for the Medici's 6 of coins packet. And they're done. Off the board. So they got what they wanted. They also happened to get another Cups card, which they didn't know was under there. The Medici will go next. Medici were wanting... They've got clubs and cups, so the swords don't do much for them. The coins could, depending on what's underneath. They probably have a very strong clubs hand, so they don't want to pick up more. So really, coins or swords could work. Or they could take the chances of drawing from the deck, which I think they'll do because the faces are the least valuable, right? So they're going to draw 2 from the deck and trade those 2 in. Another club, and a face of swords. So they didn't get exactly what they wanted. Let's see what they would have gotten. Had they taken the trade, they would have gotten another club anyway. So it wouldn't have been that beneficial either way for them. These cards got traded back into the deck. So they go into the deck. The Sforzas go next. Got to remember strategically what they were looking for. They have coin, they have cups, they have swords, they have clubs, they've got everything. They are going to swap theirs with the deck then, because that face of clubs doesn't do a lot for them, and they're going to hope to get better cards out of the deck. So they would have gotten 2 coins, which wouldn't have hurt, but instead they get a face of clubs and a face of swords. Oops, sorry, those were the top ones from last time. I got to think about that. They draw a face of cups and a 2 of coins. Those go into the discards. These need to be a discard pile. Like that. Okay, so those are the Sforzas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards for their hand. And last are the Della Rovera, which all they can do is swap these 2. So they're getting rid of the club and sword face and hoping for good cards to be drawn. Ace of Cups is a good one, a great one actually for them, because they want to influence the church, and cups influence the church. And the 7 of Coins is a fantastic one, best coins card. So they did okay themselves. They're going to put these cards back in their hand. And those are the trading done. So that's the end of step 2 on the sequence of play. The next step, step 3, we'll do another video. We're actually going to play the Primero cards out and gain our action points. So that's what we're doing next. Hope you find this interesting.